And we can now cross live to Maximo Park where Henry Hoggles with David Paterson. David, commiserations on today's result. How do you feel your team performed today?
I thought we were absolutely rubbish.
Quite brief there, David. Even though you showed a lot of possession, it wasn't really the odd that we're used to seeing. Possible midweek hangover again against the loss of Almanacan?
Don't think it's a hangover actually. I think it's the fact that we came up against a team who's adamant on fouling us today. It's the worst I've ever seen performance from another team. I thought I'm quite happy the single player's out. I thought Adebayor was an absolute disgrace. I don't know if I don't know what his game was tonight, but he should have been sent off. And I think, you'll see that. You've seen that, Henry. Adebayor with a disgrace of a challenge on Dani Alves. He should have been red carded after he was already on a yellow for, I don't even know what that was for. I think he was giving dissent to the fans. So we just felt we were being, blocked off. They never had any. They had one chance and they took it. Fair play to them. We had two, which I thought were in, rustled the side of the net, and that's just the way it went today. But it was difficult coming into this season as a champions. Expected to win everything. Maybe that's been too much for some people, and maybe it's time for some people to move on, and maybe it's time for some other people to stand up and be noticed.
Definitely some emotion in you there, David. We did see a lot of that today, and yes, I have to agree with you. So some of the tactics were quite adopted to be quite hard today. Can you see that becoming a bit of a trend? We've seen Jim and Beershot manager Blaine McTague again sitting at the top of the league. Can you see the smaller teams adopting those kind of tactics to maybe put the scare into the bigger teams?
Definitely. That's all they do. Is when they're taking down, for example, today's challenge. That's what we'll talk about. Seeing as it's we've just played this game. Dani Alves surging into their half. No one was near him. Adebayor was run behind him, slide tackled him, took out his legs from behind, never got booked. That's just, we've seen that in several games. We had Philippe Lam sent off, we feel somewhat unfairly, at Unam, yet it's the same official today, and he never sent off Adebayor, don't know why. But no, I'd agree with you, Henry. I'd say that, I've certainly stood here and complained about it before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but, I like to be justified, and I'm sure I'm justified in the fact that we've seen Stephen Walker, Blaine McTague, to name a few, who have stood here and said the exact same.
Yep, so it certainly does look like the smaller teams, if you may, are adopting a more aggressive tactic. You spoke about ins and outs. Is there anybody you've got your eye on at the moment coming towards the end of the season?
We know what we're after. I wouldn't say there's any names at the moment. At the moment, we've got 3 games left. Jim and Beershot are probably going to be 4 points ahead of us. So all we can do now is look at their results and say, well, we've got to look at our own first and foremost and say we have to win our last 3 games. If we do, we've still got a good feeling that we can win the league, win our last 3 games. Don't see why Jim and Beershot can't drop points to the likes of the Dens Bowl Club and Mould. They've done that before. As for players, I know what I want to bring in, and it's something that's going to deal with the likes of Adebayor and co, who have got a problem with skillful players and better teams.
Okay, and of course Jeremy Beershot playing tomorrow against Atlas. Will you be there?
I'll be there. I'll be watching. I'll just be a spectator. I can't have any effect on that, unfortunately. I'd like to give Atlas a team talk beforehand, but they're playing quite well at the moment, so credit to them, and hopefully they can get something at Jim and Beershot, but we'll just see what happens.
Okay, David. Well, thanks for your time and good luck in the rest of the season.
Right, cheers, Henry.